It is no longer news or a wonder that Nigerians are choosing Canada almost on a daily basis as their dream destination. As a matter of fact, almost every day, 90% of the DMs I get are Canada, Canada, Canada. What is the easiest way for me to migrate to Canada? How can I move to Canada? And I have decided to make this video to answer that question. So if you've been wondering, I want to move to Canada, but I don't know how, I don't know what the easiest pathway is, then this video is for you, because we will talk about the various immigration routes, their advantages and their disadvantages. Hi everyone, my name is Zuri, and in this video we're going to talk about the easiest way to migrate to Canada in 2024. So stay tuned. Now in this video, we're going to talk about the various immigration routes to moving to Canada. Okay, we're going to breeze through their major advantages, and if there's time, we would also talk about the disadvantage or challenge that you might face with each route. Okay, but before we do that, let's talk about why Nigerians are really clamoring for Canada. I mean, there are several other countries to migrate to, right? Now, I'm not discriminating, I'm not judging you for wanting to jackpot. Okay, that's not what this video is for. But why really are Nigerians moving to Canada? I can tell you about 3 or 4 major reasons. Now, the very first one is economic opportunities. Canada offers a wide range of job opportunities, okay, and that makes it a destination for a lot of Nigerians. Different provinces have different requirements, basically. So you just have to figure out, okay, what province needs me, what province needs my skill set, okay? And that is one reason why Nigerians are seriously moving to Canada, because it is an attractive destination for Nigerian professionals who are seeking prospects and financial stability. Now, the second one is the quality of life, okay? Canada is renowned for excellent and quality healthcare and safety, making it an excellent destination for Nigerians and their families to thrive. Not just Nigerians, but immigrants in general. The third major point, I don't want to dwell on it so much because this is not why we're here, but the third major point is quality education. Canadian universities and colleges are world-class, making it an attractive destination for Nigerian students who are seeking quality education and a diverse range of academic programs. Now, let's move on to the phase 2, which is the major part of this video. Let's talk about the major immigration routes which would make it possible for a Nigerian to relocate to Canada in 2024. Now, the first one I wrote here, I'm going to be looking this way a lot because my laptop is here, okay? So don't think that I'm looking away from you. My laptop is here and I wrote them down so that I don't forget their advantages as well. All right, so we're going to be discussing the major immigration routes, okay? Now, the first one I wrote here is the express entry system. Now, I know we've heard about this a lot, but a lot of people might not really know what exactly the express entry system really signifies, okay? Now, the express entry system is a points-based system, okay? Basically, it allows you to apply for permanent residency under a skilled worker program. Your age, I'm going to do a separate video on express entry and explaining express entry in detail, as well as guiding you through on how to apply. In my next masterclass, I might be teaching you guys how to apply for your permanent residency using the express entry system. But basically, the express entry system is a point-based system where everything matters: your age, your academic qualifications, okay, your work experience, everything matters and everything makes up the points, okay? Now, if you score a high point, right, you will receive an ITA, which means invitation to apply, okay? Now, this is an amazing route for Nigerians who are looking to move to Canada to become permanent resident. Now, in some other immigration routes, you might go with a visit visa, then switch to a work visa, then later get a permanent residence and all that. But this particular route just allows you to go straight up, okay? Straight to permanent residence. And so it might sound a bit complicated, but it's really not that complicated, all right? Now, let's talk about the advantages, all right? Now, the first advantage I wrote down here is that it is an efficient process, okay? It's quite fast and efficient. Now, before the pandemic, the express entry system took about 6 months, but now, post-pandemic, because of the backlogs that the IRCC is currently experiencing and trying to clear, it might take longer than that. Now let's go to the second advantage. I want to really breeze through them so that we can talk about all the major routes, okay? The second advantage is that you do not have to get a job offer, okay? Under the express entry system, there is no job offer required to qualify, okay? It's not like the work permit system where you need a job offer. Under the express entry system, you do not need a job offer, okay? CRS scores determine if you are qualified or not. CRS means comprehensive ranking system, okay? So you do not need a job offer to qualify to apply for permanent residence. That's amazing, right? Be sure to understand that things like your age, your work experience, your education, and your language proficiency all play a part, okay? They all contribute to how good your scores would be. I'm going to make a video explaining all of this, okay? So let's talk about the third advantage, PNP streams. Now, these PNP streams, PNP means Provincial Nominee Program. Okay, now these streams basically have to do with provinces that target specific candidates with some desired skills, okay? Let's say maybe the province needs people who are engineers, okay? So it's going to target those skills and then it's going to nominate you if you have those skills and your scores are okay, all right? Let's say another province, maybe NB needs nurses, okay? So it's going to target people with those skills, with the nursing skills, okay? So the PNP stream really helps a lot when it comes to you applying for express entry, especially if you have the skills that a particular province needs. That's why I always advise when you're about to apply for express entry, when you are on the application, the express entry application, make sure you target provinces that need your particular skill. Now, I'm going to create a video on express entry where we will talk about it in full and explain it, okay? Now, the next one is family sponsorship. And as the name implies, I mean, it's self-explanatory. Let's say as a Nigerian in Canada, I have become a citizen or a permanent resident, right? Now I can sponsor a family member to come over as well. Now that person coming over must meet some requirements, some eligibility requirements. I also, as the citizen or the permanent resident, have to meet some requirements, and I have to be able to take care of that family member that is coming in. I need to be able to take care of that person for a specified period. I mean, financially, even in my house, you know, I need to be able to host the person in my house and take care of that person for a specified period of time. The first advantage is family reunification, okay? Because you in Canada or you in Nigeria get to reunite with your sibling or your parent or your child who has been over there for a long time and has become a citizen or a permanent resident, okay? And the second advantage is that the eligibility requirements are very, very low. I mean, the other person that went has already done all the suffering for you. Not really suffering, but they have gone through the whole process of application and blah, blah, blah. And then all they have to do is invite you over, okay? So it's more lenient, okay? The eligibility requirements are more lenient when it comes to family sponsorship. So if you have a brother or sister in Canada or a cousin in Canada that you haven't spoken to, my dear, it is time to start buzzing them right now. Start calling them, okay? I will create a full video, which I will be dropping next week. I will create a full video on how to go through the family sponsorship route, okay? Because I know that a lot of people are wondering, where do we start? How do we start? If I have a sibling in Canada or I have a sibling in Nigeria that I want to bring to Canada, how do I start? I got you covered, okay? You're welcome. So let's talk about the third route, okay? What I have on my laptop here is the study route. Now, I have a special reason for making it the third, okay? Because a lot of people love the study route, but the issue is with tuition fees, proof of funds, etc., etc. By the way, if you haven't watched my video on proof of funds, please go ahead and watch it. It is very, very expository. I talk about the importance of proof of funds. I talk about how to grow your proof of funds, how to show your proof of funds, and I talk about mistakes that we often make when growing or showing our proof of funds. Okay, so you need to watch that, because I noticed lately that proof of funds is one major reason why people get denied visas. Okay, there was this lady that told me she showed everything, she displayed everything, but but still, like, they still rejected her based on her proof of funds. And I had to explain to her, these are the mistakes that you made. Yes, your money was enough, but you made these other mistakes. Okay, so a lot of us might not even know the mistakes that we're making with our proof of funds. It's not just about getting plenty of money in your account or growing your account. Okay, please go check out the proof of funds video, especially if you are thinking of taking the study route. Now, the study route is simple. Okay? It just involves you applying to study in a Canadian DLI. Okay, DLI is Designated Learning Institute. Those schools that are designated for international students like us. Okay, so you apply for a study route by getting admission into one of these schools. Now, after your studies, you might be eligible for a postgraduate work permit. While you're schooling, you can also work because you need to take care of yourself, right? Apart from the fact that you brought in money from your country, you also need to take care of yourself. So while you're schooling, you will be assigned some work hours, right? But after your graduation, you can then get a PGWP. That's a postgraduate work permit. This postgraduate work permit allows you to gain work experience, which then allows you to apply for your PR. That is your permanent residence. Now, this route is pretty straightforward, okay? Even though it might take a while, it's pretty straightforward, and it's making it an attractive route for Nigerians, especially Nigerians who are thinking or wishing to study abroad. Okay, so if you're wishing to study abroad, then you have to take this route. I have created a video talking about one reason why a lot of people get denied when they apply for study permit. So please go check out that video. Before you apply for your study permit, please go check out that video. Okay, I'm going to link it in the description below. I need you to check out that video so you do not make mistakes. Now, a lot of people might think that, oh, I don't need to watch a video talking about why visas are denied because I have not yet applied. But the reason why you should watch that video is because you have not yet applied. So you can actually guard against denial. Do you get what I'm saying? Right. So please go watch that video. I'll link it in the description below. Now let's talk about the major advantages. I know I've mentioned one, but let's just talk about it briefly, okay? I have a full video talking about study permit in Canada, how to get your study permit in Canada, from the admission process to the application for the permit itself, okay? And I'm hoping that in the next masterclass, I would also show you my screen while we go through all of these. Let's talk about the advantages. Okay, the first advantage I wrote down here is that it is a pathway to permanent residency. We've already talked about how you can get your PR with the study route, right? Now, the second one I wrote down here is access to world-class education. We mentioned before that Canadian schools are world-class. Canadian universities and colleges are world-class. And so if you study in Canada, of course, you have world-class education. That's exciting, right? Number 4, and that is the AIP, the Atlantic Immigration Pilot. I know a lot of us have heard about AIP. We've talked about AIP provinces and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to breeze through. Now, I have a full video explaining it in detail, explaining what you can do if you're interested in the AIP. So these ones are just me touching on the routes, okay? Then you choose which one is good for you and you decide which one you want to take, okay? Now, the AIP basically deals with the Atlantic provinces. Let me list the Atlantic provinces for you, okay? The Atlantic provinces are Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, and Nova Scotia. Those are the Atlantic provinces. Now, the AIP is Atlantic Immigration Pilot, okay? It is a program that connects foreign workers, skilled foreign workers, and graduates to job opportunities in the Atlantic provinces. You know, like I said, Canada offers a wide range of job opportunities, and I talked about it in the express entry system as well, where some provinces would publish and say, okay, we need people with these skills, okay, and you can apply for a work permit to any of those provinces. After working full-time for a year, you can then decide to apply for permanent residence. Now, there are 3 streams, okay, that the AIP offers. The very first one is the Atlantic High Skilled Program. The second one is the Atlantic Intermediate Skilled Program. And the third one is the Atlantic International Graduate Program. Now, I'm going to make a video breaking down all these things, but in general, the program seeks to address labor market needs, especially in the Atlantic provinces. Now, the first advantage is that it is employment driven, okay? I know some people will say, how is that an advantage? Now, the reason why it's an advantage is because if you have the skill, okay, you get the job. It's not like the normal express entry route where you have to talk about your age, talk about this, talk about that, before they now decide, okay, this person is eligible because their age, their work experience, and their academic qualification make them qualified. No, this one actually focuses on, do you have the skill for the job? Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? So it's employment driven. It doesn't really matter what your yes, your skills matter, but it doesn't really matter what your CRS scores are. It doesn't really deal with your CRS score. It is basically a work permit package. Do you understand what I'm saying? The second one is that you get regional support. Employers actually support you, the person that they are employing, okay? They support you throughout the whole process. So they don't just abandon you, okay? They support you throughout the process, okay? Because they actually need you to come in with your skill. That's amazing, right? So you will not be alone. I have made a video dissecting the AIP. I know that this one, I'm just touching here, touching there, just to introduce you to the different routes, okay? So, and that is why I am giving you the advantages so you know which one you want to explore. In conclusion, Canada continues to be the destination for Nigerians who are seeking a better quality of life. The major immigration routes such as the study permit, the AIP, the express entry, and family sponsorship offer different advantages to suit the diverse needs of Nigerians willing to migrate. Like I said before, if you are planning to migrate to Canada through any of these routes, make sure that you sit down and look into each of them carefully to know which one you have decided to choose. And I will be happy to hear what your decision is. So you can drop it in the comment section or you can send me an email. My email address is in the description below. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did find this video helpful and informative, please click on the like button, okay? It helps for my video to be shown to even more people. And if you're feeling super generous, please hit the subscribe button as well, and I will love you forever. Till I come your way in another video, stay safe and keep traveling.